7 Signs that your soul is wiser than your age. Wisdom is not always measured by the number of years you have lived. Some people grow old without ever growing wise, while others seem to carry a depth of understanding far beyond their age. These souls often feel out of place in a world obsessed with appearances, possessions, and shallow victories. Yet, they are the ones who move through life with quiet strength, deep perception, and a profound connection to the truth of existence. If you have ever been told that you act like an old soul, or if you feel like your heart carries more lessons than your years could possibly hold, you might belong to this rare group. Let us explore the 7 signs that your soul is wiser than your age. 1. You see through illusions. Most people chase what society tells them to: money, status, approval, and superficial beauty. But if your soul is wise, you sense the emptiness behind these pursuits. You don't fall easily for lies, manipulations, or trends. Instead, you have an instinct to look deeper. You ask questions others avoid. You wonder not just what something is, but why it exists and what it means. This ability to see beyond appearances often makes you feel detached from the crowd. While others get excited about material possessions, you crave meaning. You are not impressed by surface-level charm or empty words. You pay attention to authenticity, to the quiet details, to what lies beneath. This doesn't mean you reject the joys of life, it means you know where real value is found. A wise soul sees through illusions and seeks the truth, even when the truth is uncomfortable. 2. You learn from pain instead of running from it. Most people spend their lives avoiding pain. They numb themselves with distractions, deny their feelings, or blame others for their suffering. But a soul that carries wisdom understands that pain is a teacher. Instead of escaping it, you ask, what is this pain trying to teach me? You may have faced heartbreak, betrayal, or loneliness, and though it hurt deeply, you came out stronger. You don't allow pain to define you, but you allow it to shape you. Every scar becomes a reminder of growth, every setback a lesson in resilience. A wise soul does not waste suffering. It transforms wounds into wisdom. And this ability to embrace pain with courage is one of the clearest signs that your soul is older than your body. 3. You value silence and solitude. While many people are afraid of being alone, you are not. In fact, solitude feels like a sanctuary to you. In silence, you hear your own thoughts more clearly. In solitude, you connect with yourself, your intuition, and even the universe. A younger or less experienced soul might need constant noise, constant validation, and constant company. But a wiser soul knows that silence is not emptiness, it is presence. It is the space where truths reveal themselves. You don't fear being misunderstood when you choose to step away from chaos. Instead, you honor the moments of stillness as sacred. A wise soul knows that in solitude lies strength, and in silence lies clarity. 4. You are compassionate, but not foolish. Wisdom softens the heart, but it also sharpens the mind. If your soul is older than your age, you likely feel a deep compassion for others. You can sense their struggles, you can empathize with their pain, and you often offer kindness without expecting anything in return. Yet, unlike naive kindness, your compassion is not blind. You know when to give and when to protect your boundaries. You understand that helping someone who refuses to help themselves is not true help, it is enabling. This balance of open-hearted empathy and wise discernment is rare. It allows you to love without being used, to forgive without forgetting, and to care without losing yourself. A wise soul loves deeply, but never foolishly. 5. You feel connected to something greater. Perhaps since childhood, you have felt that life is more than just survival. You sense an invisible thread connecting all things. Whether you call it the universe, God, destiny, or energy, you recognize that existence carries meaning beyond what we see. This doesn't mean you follow a particular religion, it means you feel the sacredness in life itself. You notice the magic in ordinary moments, the way the sun rises, the way silence feels alive, the way two strangers can meet at exactly the right time. A wise soul feels at home in the mystery of existence. You don't demand all the answers, you honor the wonder of not knowing. This spiritual awareness is not tied to your age, it is a sign of a soul that has lived many lifetimes of experience. 6. You choose growth over comfort. Most people seek comfort, an easy path, familiar habits, and safe choices. But if your soul is wise, you know that growth rarely comes from comfort. You are willing to challenge yourself, to leave behind what no longer serves you, and to walk into the unknown if it means becoming who you are meant to be. This doesn't mean you don't feel fear, you do. But courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to act despite it. A wise soul chooses growth, even when it is painful, even when it requires sacrifice. You understand that life is not about avoiding hardship but about evolving through it. And so you embrace change, even when it unsettles you. This willingness to step into discomfort is a clear mark of wisdom beyond your years. 7. You carry a timeless presence. Finally, the surest sign of a wise soul is the presence you carry. People might tell you that you seem different, mature, or calm for your age. You may notice that strangers feel comfortable sharing their secrets with you, as if they sense your depth without even knowing why. Your presence doesn't demand attention, but it naturally attracts respect. It feels grounding, steady, and safe. People may even turn to you for guidance, even if you never claim to have all the answers. This timeless presence is not something you perform, it simply radiates from within. It is the mark of a soul that has carried wisdom across lifetimes, a soul that remembers what truly matters, even when the world forgets. If you resonate with these 7 signs, you are likely carrying a soul much wiser than your age. This wisdom is both a gift and a responsibility. It allows you to see life with clarity, but it can also make you feel different, isolated, or misunderstood. Yet, remember this, your wisdom is not a burden. It is a light. And the world needs more souls like yours to shine in times of confusion and darkness. Wisdom is not about knowing everything. It is about knowing what truly matters. A soul wiser than its age carries within it an understanding of life that cannot be explained only by experiences of this lifetime. It feels like you were born with an invisible library inside you, a place where truths rest quietly, waiting for you to recall them. To help you see how these 7 signs shape your life more deeply, let us go further into each one. Seeing through illusions in everyday life. When your soul is wiser than your years, you don't just see through big deceptions, you see through the little ones too. For example, you might recognize that a smile hides sadness, or that someone's loud confidence hides insecurity. You notice when someone says what they think people want to hear, instead of what is true. This gift of perception can be heavy. At times, you wish you could simply believe the surface like others do, because life would feel easier. But your soul doesn't allow it. You cannot ignore dishonesty or pretense. You seek depth in conversations, in relationships, in your purpose. A wise soul is like an X-ray, it sees through masks and reveals what is real. And once you see the truth, you can never go back to being blind. Learning from pain. The alchemy of the soul. Pain is universal, but what we do with pain is what defines us. Many people let pain harden them, close their hearts, or turn them bitter. But when your soul carries wisdom, you don't let pain destroy you, you let it refine you. Think of pain like fire. For some, fire burns everything down. For others, fire forges steel. If your soul is wiser than your age, then your pain has forged you into something stronger, sharper, and more resilient. This doesn't mean you enjoy suffering. It means you no longer fear it. You know that pain has purpose, that it teaches compassion, humility, and strength. You have the rare courage to sit with your wounds, listen to them, and allow them to become lessons. This transformation is the alchemy of the soul, turning sorrow into wisdom. Silence and solitude, the forgotten teachers in today's world. Silence is almost extinct. Noise fills every corner, phones buzzing, screens flashing, voices competing for attention. Most people panic when they are left alone without distractions. But a wiser soul knows that silence is not empty, it is alive. In silence, you hear whispers of your intuition. In solitude, you find answers that no book or mentor can give you. Your soul craves these moments of stillness because it remembers that wisdom is not found in chaos but in reflection. When you embrace solitude, people might misunderstand you. They may call you distant, antisocial, or detached. But in reality, solitude is where you connect most deeply, with yourself and with the universe. A wise soul doesn't fear being alone, because it knows it is never truly alone. Compassion with boundaries. Many confuse wisdom with softness, but true wisdom is a balance. If your soul is wise, you feel deeply for others, but you also know the danger of giving too much of yourself away. This is why people often trust you. They sense your kindness, but they also sense your strength. You don't allow yourself to be used or manipulated. You can say no with love, you can walk away with grace, and you can forgive without forgetting. Your compassion is not weakness, it is power under control. It is the kind of love that heals without losing itself. And this balance, though difficult to maintain, is one of the clearest signs of an old soul in a young body. Connection to the greater whole. If your soul is wiser than your age, you live with a sense of wonder. You notice patterns, synchronicities, and signs that others dismiss as coincidence. You feel guided, as if life is more than random events, it is a tapestry where every thread has meaning. This awareness often makes you more humble. Instead of feeling like the center of the universe, you feel like part of something vast and interconnected. You don't see yourself as above nature, you see yourself as part of it. You sense that every choice ripples outward, that kindness matters, that energy shapes reality. This doesn't make you naive. In fact, it grounds you. You realize how small yet meaningful one human life is, and that truth brings peace rather than fear. Growth over comfort, the path few choose. People admire comfort. They build entire lives around avoiding risk, avoiding discomfort, and staying safe. But your soul is wired differently. Even when comfort calls to you, something inside whispers, "This is not enough." You understand that growth often requires leaving behind what feels familiar. You know that true change hurts before it heals. And so, you choose growth. You push yourself to evolve even when it costs you relationships, old identities, or stability. It is not that you hate comfort, it is that you value evolution more. You know your soul did not come here to play safe, it came here to awaken. And awakening is rarely comfortable. The timeless presence of the old soul. Have you ever noticed how people open up to you easily, even strangers? Or how others describe you as calming, grounding, or wise, even if you never say much? This is the timeless presence of a wise soul. You carry an energy that feels ancient, steady, and reliable. You don't need to prove yourself, because your presence speaks louder than your words. People may lean on you without even realizing why. They sense your strength, your clarity, your depth. This timeless sword doesn't mean life is easier for you. In fact, it can make you feel out of place, misunderstood, or lonely. But it also makes you a light in the darkness, a safe harbor for others who are lost. A soul wiser than its age often walks a path that is both lonely and beautiful. You may feel misunderstood, but that is because the world is not yet awake to the depth you carry. Remember, wisdom is not meant to isolate you, it is meant to guide you and those around you. The world needs your presence, your clarity, your compassion, and your courage. Your wisdom is not an accident. It is a gift. A wise soul is not defined by how much it knows, but by how it lives. If you recognize yourself in these 7 signs, you carry a rare kind of inner wealth, one that is not measured in money or status, but in clarity, compassion, and truth. Yet wisdom is not just for reflection, it is for action. Let us look deeper at how these signs shape the way you live, and how they can guide you toward your purpose. Wisdom in relationships. When your soul is older than your body, relationships feel different. You do not chase love for the sake of filling a void. You are not interested in shallow attraction or temporary attention. Instead, you seek connection that is rooted in authenticity and respect. This often means you prefer a small circle of meaningful relationships over a large group of acquaintances. People may call you selective or even distant, but in truth, you are simply unwilling to waste energy on bonds that lack depth. You understand that relationships are not just about comfort, they are about growth. You are willing to walk away from those who drain your spirit, and you are equally willing to nurture the rare souls who see and value your depth. For you, love is not about possession, it is about resonance. Wisdom in decision-making. Another mark of a wise soul is the way you make choices. Instead of reacting impulsively, you pause. You reflect. You ask not only, "What do I want now?" but also, "What will this mean later?" You consider the consequences of your actions, not because you are afraid, but because you understand that everything is connected. Your decisions are guided less by ego and more by intuition. And often, your intuition proves right, even when logic cannot explain it. This doesn't mean you never make mistakes. You do. But unlike many, you learn quickly. Every mistake becomes a stepping stone, every wrong turn a lesson that sharpens your path. The quiet strength of patience in a world that celebrates speed, fast success, instant gratification, immediate answers. A wise soul carries patience like a hidden power. You understand that the best things in life take time. Growth cannot be rushed. Healing cannot be forced. Truth reveals itself slowly. Patience is not passive, it is strength under control. It is the ability to wait without losing faith, to trust the process even when the results are not visible. A wise soul can endure uncertainty without falling apart, because it knows that everything unfolds when the time is right. This patience often surprises others. While they panic, you remain calm. While they demand quick results, you stay steady. And this calmness becomes a source of strength not only for you but for those around you. The challenge of being different. Having a soul wiser than your years is a blessing, but it is also a challenge. You may feel misunderstood by peers. You may wonder why you see the world so differently, why noise bothers you, why shallow conversations exhaust you, or why you crave meaning while others crave distraction. At times, this difference can feel like loneliness, but remember, solitude is not the same as isolation. Your wisdom sets you apart because it is meant to guide you onto a unique path. You are not here to fit into the crowd, you are here to live authentically and inspire others by your example. And though you may walk alone at times, You will attract kindred spirits, other old souls who recognize the same light within you. When you find them, the connection will feel immediate and timeless, as if you have known them across lifetimes. Living with purpose. Perhaps the greatest sign of a wise soul is the desire to live with purpose. You know that life is too precious to waste on meaningless pursuits. You may not have all the answers about your destiny, but you feel an inner pull towards something greater, whether it is to create, to heal, to teach, to inspire, or simply to live with integrity. This sense of purpose gives you direction. It fuels your decisions, shapes your relationships, and guides your growth. You understand that your wisdom is not just for you, it is for others. You carry it so that you can shine a light in a world often lost in shadows. The gift you bring to the world. If your soul is wiser than your age, then you are a reminder that humanity is capable of depth, clarity, and compassion. You are proof that wisdom is not tied to years but to the spirit. Your presence can heal without words. Your choices can inspire without recognition. Your silence can speak louder than noise. And your wisdom can remind others of truths they have forgotten. This is the gift of the wise soul, to walk through the world not just surviving, but illuminating. To carry the lessons of the past, the awareness of the present, and the vision of the future, all within a single heartbeat. Final reflection. If you resonate with these signs, embrace them. Do not hide your depth to make others comfortable. Do not silence your wisdom to avoid standing out. The world does not need more noise, it needs more truth. Your soul is not an accident. It carries wisdom that the world desperately needs. Walk with confidence, not arrogance. Walk with humility, not weakness. Walk with clarity, not confusion. Remember, the measure of a wise soul is not how much it knows, but how much light it brings into the lives of others. And if you carry that light, then you are already fulfilling the greatest purpose of all, to make the world a little more awake, a little more compassionate, and a little more alive. So when people tell you that you seem older than your age, smile. They are not seeing your years, they are seeing your soul. And your soul, timeless and luminous, is far wiser than the body it inhabits.